Today I'm going to be talking about one of the most important topics I have ever spoke. Today we're going to be talking about why Guts has a small penis, and by proxy, why Griffith is packing. Well, let's not waste any time and start right away. There are many ways to prove that Guts has a pinky dick. However, one of the more obvious ways is, of course, his swords. Every time Guts is using a sword, the sword is bigger than he is. Even as a child, I believe that Guts is clearly using the size of his swords to compensate for the fact that he has a very small penis. However, it is a bit more complicated than that. Ever since Guts was young, he has instinctively used a bigger sword, even as a literal child. What could this possibly mean? I believe that Guts has a form of erectile future sight. I believe that he knows deep down in his heart that his penis will not be big enough even when he grows older. However, Guts' penile foresight is a little bit off the mark. If Guts were to grow up, his penis size would actually be slightly lower than the average size for a white male, which is acceptable. However, all chances of having an acceptable penis size were forever dashed when he met one person. Whenever we talk about Berserk, it's always important that we talk about EDP 445's ancestor, Donovan. As all of you who read Berserk know, Donovan is a being of pure niggotry. He has so much niggotry that even top-tier child predators, such as Drake and R. Kelly, both of them have to bow in respect within his presence. Now, what does Donovan have to do with Guts' small penis? Well, it is widely accepted amongst the community that most femboys have extremely small penises, and they would often wear chastity belts and often ask to get fucked by ugly white men. Now answer me this, what do femboys and Guts have in common? That's right, they were touched in their no-no spots by their creepy uncles, and I suppose Donovan counts as Guts' creepy uncle. However, I think this is actually worse for Guts, because Donovan's pure niggotry injected into Guts' ass, counteracting Guts' wigotry, rendering his penis childlike for the rest of his days. You guys also have to remember that Guts is a Sigma icon. A Sigma icon cannot have a big penis. Sigma males cannot have sex because it is against their code. Therefore, they have small penises. However, I believe that Guts' small penis doesn't actually bother him. But in order for us to get into that, we need to go into Griffith next. Griffith is a very interesting man in the fact that he is a twink with a very large member. He is, for all intents and purposes, a sexual fence sitter. He is in between the fringes of a masculine man and a femboy. The reason for Griffith's penis size is extremely simple. He managed to will himself out of poverty, managed to create an extremely powerful mercenary band, and his dream is to have his own kingdom. A nigga with enough drive and motivation like that cannot have a small penis. It must be large. However, here's the thing. I don't think Griffith likes his big penis. Griffith loves Guts, so much so that he actually appears naked before him and splashes water on him like a gay person does. In fact, one of the questions Guts asks Griffith is, "Are you a homo?" Considering his twink body, he might as well be. Griffith wants to be like Guts so much that he even goes out of his way to get touched in the no-no spot by a creepy white guy. However, here's the problem. The creepy white guy who literally fondles little boys is white, and the white power going into Griffith's ass will have no effect on Griffith's erectile riz. One last thing I want to talk about is the collective sex that these two characters have. Take a look at Guts for a moment. He and Casca meet after a long time, and then they fuck. However, as they're doing it, the will of D, aka the will of Donovan, shows itself, and Guts almost kills Casca for not being a little boy. However, Guts collects himself and begins to use Donovan's bestial strength to give Casca the dicking of a 10-incher, even though he has 2. After doing the deed, take a look at Casca's and Guts' face. Look at the sheer amount of satisfaction that they have. It is clear that Casca is okay with Guts being a 2-incher. It seems to be the case that she herself believes that a 2-incher is good enough, which is kind of strange when most people see Casca as the ideal black woman, and all black women want their men to have mandingos. But then look at Griffith. Look at the sheer amount of depression he has after doing the princess. The princess is asleep, but not because the sex was good, but because he's actually incapacitated because of how much the dick was tearing at her vagina. Look at the sheer amount of horror on Griffith's face when he realizes that he is in fact the dominator, when in reality he wanted to be dominated. This depression would soon manifest into him basically sacrificing all of his friends and then fondling Casca right in front of Guts, and then eventually using his erectile wrist to change the entire world. How irresponsible. Let's take a look at another character with a lot of motivation and drive. Take Virgil. He definitely has a large penis, but he doesn't use it for evil. He uses it in order to better himself and look for more power. This man has true erectile wrist, not Griffith. With all of this evidence, this now begs the question, why did Guts clap demon cheeks?